Civilizations do not collapse in flames, they decay in silence. They rot from the inside, and when they finally fall, most people are surprised. Atlantis was not destroyed in a single day. It was eroded by something far more dangerous than war. It was eroded by people who believed they were untouchable. At first, it did not look evil. It looked efficient. A small circle of men realized that secrets were more powerful than swords. If you can compromise a person, you can steer them. If you can steer enough people, you can control outcomes without ever appearing to rule. So they built a system, not of laws, but of leverage. Every rising official carried something buried. Every influential voice was entangled. Every gatekeeper was quietly owned. No one rebelled because no one was clean. If that sounds familiar, it is because we are actually living out the Atlantean archetype in the 21st century, having everything and then losing everything. Power does not corrupt instantly. It anesthetizes. There were two factions on Atlantis, the Sons of Light and the Sons of Shadow. At first, the Sons of Shadow told themselves, "We are protecting stability. We are necessary. The masses cannot handle the truth." Compromise became strategy. Secrecy became policy. And slowly, morality became negotiable. That is the true portal. Not a machine of stone. Not a ring of energy. But the moment a culture decides that truth is optional, but control over people was not enough. They wanted control over reality itself. They became obsessed with tearing open the fabric of existence, not because they understood it, but because they believed they could master it. They called it progress. They called it advancement. They called it destiny. They did not call it hubris. Today we call it CERN, the Large Particle Accelerator. The Earth did not need to punish them. It only needed to respond. The sea did not roar at first. It seeped. Small tremors, unexplainable anomalies, systems malfunctioning, structures cracking beneath their own weight. But those in power reassured the public. Everything is stable. Everything is under control. Until it wasn't. And by the time the ocean rose, the moral collapse had already happened. Atlantis sank because its foundation was hollow long before the water touched it. Now look around. Today, we live in towers of glass and signal. Today, we live in towers of glass and signal. We speak in algorithms. We move through invisible networks. But the architecture feels familiar. Compromise is currency. Blackmail is insurance. Secrets is glue. Leverage is governance. You don't see chains, you see smiles. You don't see coercion, you see consensus. You don't see corruption, you see coordination. That is how advanced decay looks. Polished, professional, justified. The unsettling truth. The most dangerous civilizations are not the brutal ones. They are the sophisticated ones. The ones that believe they are too intelligent to collapse. The ones that believe technology has outgrown consequence. The ones that experiment with forces they do not spiritually comprehend. The ones that dismiss moral restraint as superstition. The ones that laugh at the idea that history could repeat. They say, well, no, we are different. Atlantis said that too. Now let me speak to you plainly. You do not need to believe in ancient continents. You only need to understand patterns. When power protects itself instead of truth, when accountability is theatrical but never real, when executive actions are announced but never enforced, when corruption is too large to confront, something happens inside people. They disengage, they grow cynical, they start to cut corners. Because if fairness is illusion at the top, why uphold it below? That is how moral collapse spreads, not through villains, through resignation, through quiet acceptance, through fatigue. A civilization does not drown all at once. It loses its inner cohesion first. Trust evaporates, institutions hollow out, language becomes propaganda, law becomes selective, reality becomes contested. And when half the population believes the system protects insiders while punishing outsiders, the fracture is already forming. Foreign adversaries do not need to defeat such a nation. They only need to wait, because internal rot accomplishes what armies cannot. Here is what makes this unsettling. No one feels like the villain in their own story. The Sons of Shadow believed they were enlightened. They believed they were stewards of hidden knowledge. They believed the rules did not apply to them because they understood more. But the universe does not bend to arrogance. It responds to it. And when systems built on secrecy meet forces beyond their control, the sea returns, not as myth, as consequence. If you feel something is wrong, if you sense instability beneath the surface, if you see accountability delayed again and again, that discomfort is not paranoia. It is pattern recognition. The collapse of a civilization is not decided by elites alone. It is decided by whether ordinary people demand restraint before it is too late. History does not punish arrogance immediately. It allows it to expand, to metastasize, to harden, until correction becomes catastrophic instead of surgical. The sea is patient, but it does not negotiate. And when foundations rot long enough, it does not roar. It simply comes. Decay is quiet until it is